Hi all, how's it going? I've got to credit Nick with that, Michael, I'm afraid, because on my chat you came up first, but then on YouTube chat it was Nick. So Nick, you got the Patriot games. I thought that was quite easy actually, but the how did you get that? Just out of curiosity, is it the fact that you recognised straight away that that was Harrison Ford, or you just remember that scene from the movie? But I think that was a little bit too easy. I'm gonna have to. It's not like the Breakfast Club one, is it? So, but well done, Nick. Well done for that. We have got, I'm going to take these off now, I don't need them. We've got some fun tonight. I'm just going to check my sound because I'm going to be playing around with the sound later on because we're going to be having a guest on. Phil from Sprueverse is going to be joining us and we are going to be figuring out...
What's in the box?
Yes, this thing here, we all really want to know.
What's in the box?
I'm never going to get tired of finding out.
What's in the box?
I do love technology. It's all cool. What have I been doing? I'm going to be showing you a 6-minute video at the start of the stream. So you'll have to entertain me because I have promised everyone to show them about the nacelles, which look just like this. I'll show you those in a second actually. Thunder Road I've been building, that's behind me at the moment. Jeff Fink, if you've been watching this, look, I've made the trash can. I took off the top, the handle, because I'm creating my own handle, which looks a bit more hollow, so you can actually put things in it and stuff like that. But that's the dustbin for the Thunder Road. God, even Esther knew it was the back of Thunder Road. Oh, and hello, Christian from Grantham.
Let's give it up big time. Hello, Christian from Grantham. Now let's get cracking.
And hello, Gary Whitfield. I think a lot of people got that film. I haven't seen it for ages, so it's probably one I want to do. And as I said, yeah, Phil's going to be joining us around about 8:30. I will get I'll generate a link soon, Phil. I've got it all ready to go here, and I'll send you the link. Hopefully that'll work, and then jump on. I've created a background, Phil. So I'm hoping the background's going to work perfectly. I do need to change some sound settings around, but I'll get in touch with you regarding that. And then once we do that, we can find out.
What's in the box?
Of course. If I haven't played that clip about 100 times today, then I'm doing something completely wrong. How iconic, Bill and Bones, how iconic is Ford's head if we recognise him from the back? See what I mean? Hi Wayne, how your build Fast and the Furious, they were not shipped to Canada. It's because it's done from Fan Home, and I don't think Fan Home's over the pond yet. So you may see it, but it may be from a different distributor, or D'Agostini may be doing it themselves. Talking about deliveries and stuff, Michael, if you're still watching the stream, my brother, I send my brother the Spitfire magazines. Now, what I asked Hachette to do was, can they catch me up like they've done with the Terminator? Because if he wasn't aware, I'm now up to issue 106 on this Terminator, still behind on the Agora one. Well, what they did was they caught me up with the Spitfire, so now I'm up to issue 56, 57, 58, something like that, I don't know, whatever you're up to. But they haven't sent me 51, 52, 53, 54. So basically, all of those are going to be going to my brother in Canada. So he's going to be ahead of me, which is really weird. And I'm going to be about a month behind, which is crazy. So, Graham Loki, you're so jealous. Well, I said it's coming together. It's looking really good. Absolutely, really happy with that. So, has Eleanor? No, it's not Eleanor, John. I don't know. My Eleanor notification was exactly 1 week ago today, and I still haven't received anything. But honestly, I do not know. I haven't got a clue.
What's in the box?
I'm going to keep playing that. Phil sent this out, I don't know how long ago, Phil, a couple of weeks ago. As you can see, we've got the border force on it. So it's been opened by the Home Office. So the Home Office know what's in there. And it did have a lot of paperwork on, which I took off and gave to Mrs. Welder Wayne to ask her, does it tell me on the paperwork what's in it? Does it tell me on the paperwork?
What's in the box?
So, and apparently it does, so I'm glad I didn't look at that paperwork. So Mrs. Welder Wayne, I think, knows what's in here as well. Obviously, Phil knows what's in here, but I really, honestly have not got a blindest clue what's in here. All I know is going to be a new project that me and Phil are going to be working on, a little bit like we did for the ET. Getting really excited for it, so we are going to be opening that sometime after 8:30. But what I'm going to be doing, you can do chat. I want you to entertain me for about 6 minutes. I'm going to show you the video that's going to go up after the stream, but I'll still answer things in chat. Now, when I filmed this today, I forgot to wear the microphone, so the sound is a little bit ropey in this video. But basically, I'm going to show you how we turned the nacelle here into stand by, into the nacelle here. looking like that. And you're going to see that in the video. I've just realised that I need to tighten the screw up on that one, so we'll do that. But you'll get to see the light tests and stuff like that. So if you bear with me, we will do that video right now. Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world, the world of Wayne. I'm going to tell you about another mod that I'm doing to the Hero Collector Build the Enterprise involving the nacelle. Now let me tell you the problem first. The problem is that, as you can see, the nacelles are blue. Now, something was bothering me about this whole thing when I was looking at it. It looks like a toy, and I think the reason for that is this blue here. It does look like a, I don't know, a light from a toy, to be honest with you. And most of the time, this is going to be off. I can't see me having a power supply for this, especially if it's hanging from the ceiling. I don't want this to be blue. It is meant to be copper when it's off and the ship's not powered up. And then obviously when it lights up, it needs to be blue. So as you've probably been watching on the live streams, I've been trying to find a solution how we can get this to go from copper to blue. And Lou Dalmasso is actually the one that suggested it, is basically just paint the whole thing copper. And as soon as the light goes through it, it's actually going to be blue. And I have to say, Lou, I wasn't convinced. So I had to do some experimentation. So let me show you what I did. So as you can see here, I've got two bits of acrylic. I've got some clear acrylic, which I painted copper at one end. And then I got some blue acrylic, which I painted copper at one end. Then I took the battery supply from the Terminator and quite dangerously, I just plugged an LED straight in the end. But don't worry, the amount of volts running through this, the LED is not going to split. So put that in. So I've got a blue light. And then what I was doing was seeing, obviously the blue light looks okay behind. Obviously this will be diffused as well behind the clear, but can you see the light through the copper? And it dulls down a bit, but as you can see, hopefully it's still blue. So then what would happen if I was to just paint copper directly over the nacelle, which as we know is blue. So obviously with a blue light, it's going to look like that. In the copper section, as you can see, it's copper here, but as soon as the blue light hits, it turns blue again, which is absolutely brilliant, which is what I was going for. Now, I don't know what colour the bulbs are going to come in this build, but I very much doubt they're going to be blue, because if they were, there's no reason at all for the nacelle to be blue. So I've got a white LED here. Now this is what colour I think the LEDs are going to be. Could be wrong, but there we go. We've got white on the clear side, and again on this you can still see the white light coming through. And on the blue one, obviously on the clear side it's blue, but then on the copper side, as you can see, it's probably not as good actually, but it is still blue. You've got to trust me on that, because the camera lights are trying to focus in, but it is still blue. So with that under my belt, I took the magical leap to actually put it on the nacelle. So lucky for me, Matthew Thomas, thank you so much Matthew Thomas, who views the channel, sent me issues 1 and 2 so I can play around with the nacelles on that. I want to show you, after I airbrush the copper, what they look like. So with that in mind, I've moved to the workshop, and as you can see, I've been painting the nacelles directly, not stripping any colour off or anything or putting lines in it, copper. Now the copper I'm using, it's actually from the range where I got my glue from. It's just an acrylic metallic copper I've got there. I use a bit of airbrush thinner in that, and I've been airbrushing it, and this is what it looks like when it's done. It's still drying at the moment, but with my experimentation to see how it would look, check the difference out of this. So that's copper, hold it up against the light, it's blue. So once again, no light, copper with light, blue. Now I'm not sure what the light solution is going to be from Hero Collector regarding the lights that go behind the nacelles, but these LEDs that I'm using in the paint booth here are very cheaply available for Amazon, so if need be I could just stick one of them behind it. But I'm sure you'll agree that works absolutely perfectly. Very happy with that. So let's mount this in the nacelle. So what does that mean? It means we've turned the nacelle looking just like this into one that looks just like this. And I think the only way that I can demonstrate this in the man cave is if you look at how that looks there, and I put a light behind it, you can see how blue that actually goes. Copper, blue. But that was a simple fix. This is the difference. Obviously, you've got this one looking like that, and that one looking like that. This one doesn't make it look like a toy. I think that does. So obviously, it's your spaceship. You can do exactly what you want with it, which is why I'm doing all these mods and stuff. The only other thing I'm going to have a look at is the light at the back here. I think I'm going to make that a beacon anyway, and I want to be able to put my own colour in that. So I am going to make sure that the paint on that little plastic piece is clear, so I can put my own colour bulb in there eventually as well. But we'll do that in another video. But it's very quite simple fix. I've seen people doing things where they put some tape over the fins or the ridges to make sure some blue shines through. I really don't think you have to do that. As you've seen from this video, you can just paint the whole thing so it looks like that. But I really do hope you like that short video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember. And there we go. So that's what I've been doing today. But yeah, really happy with how that turned out. Looked absolutely brilliant. So I need to give a shout out, D, to Ellie. Hi, Ellie. Is that right? I just saw that in chat there. I was chatting away, then realised I didn't have my mic on, so I couldn't, I had to be really quiet. But yes, Fee, I've seen the Ghostbusters Mini Marshmallow Man, and I did force Mrs. Welderwayne to watch it as well. Looked absolutely brilliant. As a matter of fact, that trailer made that whole afterlife for me. I didn't think much of the trailer with the kids, to be honest with you, but I did love that trailer. That was absolutely brilliant. And there was something else in chat as well. What was that? I'm just looking down. Stand by. I don't know. I think I've answered it. It will come back. It will come back to me. But there you go. Now, we've got another thing, another feature that we normally do, and that is merch on the map. So today's merch on the map, as you can see, I'm in Corby. I always locate Corby. All you people over the pond will know exactly where Corby is. Look, we're slap bang in the centre of the country. I think the nearest sea to us is over in Hunstanton over here, or as the locals call it, Huntston. Do you believe that? Hunstanton there is actually pronounced Huntston. Just like, let me try and find this place over here. Where are we? It's somewhere around, no, a bit further south than that. There we go. Happyspur. There, Happyspur. That's actually pronounced Haysborough. Haysborough, something like that. It is nothing like that at all, but that's Norfolk for you. But we are going to be jumping all the way down to one of my favourite places in the whole wide world, Portsmouth. But in this little island over here, we have got Portchester. And we were in Portchester Castle. Was it last year, Mrs. Welderwayne? We loved it there. We absolutely enjoyed it. And in Portchester, we've got John Russell, who's in chat at the moment, about to embarrass you, John, wearing the Welderwayne merch. I make mistakes so you don't have to. John, I'm going to be seeing you soon. Hopefully, when the hotel's open, I'm coming to Portsmouth and I'll be paying you a visit. I have to ask, that looks like a Victory behind you. So I'm confused. Are you building two Victories? That does look like the Victory, but I've got to show that picture again. That really does look like the Victory behind you. So, or is it just me? But it looks absolutely awesome, whatever it is. All good. How the devil is everyone anyway? It won't be long before we find out.
What's in the box?
Never going to get delayed. That's why I put it on a hotkey, you see, so I can just like flick through it as when I need to. Welderwayne, what was the type of colour used? It was an acrylic paint I used, Jacob, for the nacelles, if that's what you're asking, and it was just metallic copper. I was going to use bronze, because bronze has got a little bit more of a gold and a lightness to it, but now I've done it in that colour that there was there. I like it. The problem is, it's a one-hit wonder. You can't coat it too much, otherwise the light won't show through, and then you're stuck really, aren't you? So, Phil, you haven't got an airbrush. It does need an airbrush. I think if you put it on with a brush, it's going to be too thick. But Tamiya copper acrylic paint should be good as well. Oh, well, I mean, yeah, I suppose that's not going to be too bad as a problem. I'd water it down a little bit, though. I wouldn't go extra thick on it. Just thin it a little bit. Where are we? There was just a door on. I've been trying to get the workstation you beside you, but can't find Model Designs. Model Designs actually went out of business, unfortunately, Andrew, last year. But I did have contact with Mark, who runs Model Designs, probably a month, 2 months ago, and saying that they are hoping to soup up again. Now, I don't know if that means he's going to have a business premises or he's going to be working from home. But now I've moved this up here. This is one of my big regrets. I really wish that I put this workstation up here straight away rather than put it in the workshop, because I didn't realise I was going to have streaming issues in the workshop. Since I put it up here, the amount of emails I've got has been crazy. So Mark, if you're watching this, people are interested in this workstation, probably the paint racks as well, whether it be the acrylic version or the wood version. But if you are coming back, then let the people know, because lots of people are interested in this. So Mort's29, how's it going? I've nearly finished the Eagle Mostador and I'm looking to start the Ferrari F50. Have you found any delayed deliveries? The F40, you mean? I don't know about. I've had a delayed deliveries big time. I was waiting 3 months for it. So, but Andy, your pack 2's on the way for the Eleanor. I haven't even received my pack 1 yet, which is terrible. It has been. I've got an email saying it's due out, so hopefully it'll be here soon. And there we go. John Medney just answered that question for me. Thank you, John. Hi Wayne, how about Wimmenham? I don't know. It's just as bad as I said, Mulguy in Glasgow. Spelt Milgavy. It was 2 years ago. I keep forgetting because of the lockdown last year that I've just skipped a year, haven't I? So, yeah, Panini do seem to be getting on top of it, John, which is good. Although Panini collections I don't think are really known for their part works. This is the first one I've done and it is really impressive. But God, that engine doing all that pipe work in issue 29, that was absolutely crazy. Since the copper paint is metallic, brushing it might block too much light. Airbrushing allows you to add just a few thin layers. I think there was just a couple of layers on there, Marvel, when I did it. But bearing in mind the light that's behind it was quite a bright LED. Now, as I said in that video, I can't see them giving us blue LEDs with blue acrylic. I reckon they're going to be white LEDs and they're probably going to be in a strip. If I find that there's hot spots in there, so in other words it doesn't look smooth, even though it should look uniform, then I might just swap it out for the LED that you saw in the paint booth. That LED is 30 centimeters, but you can get really thin ones. As a matter of fact, the best place you can find them is if you've got an old TFT monitor or a screen. Break it open and you'll find 2 of them down the side of the screen, which lights the backlight panel up. They do exactly the same job. I've got a couple of spare ones of them upstairs. They make good lightsabers as well. But obviously they're far too big and you can't cut them down, but they're like little tiny fluorescent lights. Absolutely brilliant. And that's what I learned. Yes, it is the Victory. Email you to... Yeah, no, definitely. I'd like to see that, John. That looked absolutely brilliant. I spotted it straight away, but I was like, is it? It looks exactly like it. Yeah, dry brushing's a good technique as well. Oh, I do like DJ Mr. Flex. How's it going, Mr. Flex? Mr. Flex is over on Twitch doing drum and bass. I believe it's Wednesdays and Saturdays, isn't it, Mark? I hope so. It's all good. But tonight, Mark, we're going to be finding out.
What's in the box?
Because I've got a box sitting here that's just left customs. And hello, Revo Dave. How's it going? Well, Wayne, I found Revell Metallic Copper number 93 shout works too, thanks. I mean, to be honest with you, Jacob, it was more of a case of me wanting to do it now. It's been stirring around in my mind, so I've got sleepless nights, and I thought I just want to change it because it's just me. I know it's just me, but that blue, when the ship knot's on, reminds me of my big track. You know that 80s car that I've got behind the Terminators? You can hardly see it. It's just there. It just reminds me of a toy. And it's not going to be on all the time. So I do think that looks a hell of a lot better. Obviously this, I've got to paint yellow still. I haven't done that either because this wasn't clear and it wasn't, this looks like an amber colour. But then again, I'm colourblind, so it could be blue for all I know. So, wow, Chris, you're being made a grandpa again. How cool is that? So I need Mrs. Wellaway's knowledge of dolls' houses. This time it's a girl. Wow. Congratulations, Chris. I can't wait for the day that happens. It's getting to the state now. I mean, I'm 47 now. I'm bugging my daughter Charlotte, who did the makeup. I'm like, you know, TikTok. Although she's jumping on stream tonight, apparently. So, Glyn, you got a t-shirt exactly like this. Is it one of mine? Because if it is, send me a picture so I can put you on the map. Because you know what? Today was the last one. John sent me his. I haven't got any more. So if you've got any face masks, mugs, t-shirts that you've ordered from the merch store, send me a picture to wayne@worldofwayne.co.uk. Somewhere I've got an email address. There we go. Send me an email there, and I will put it on the channel, and I'll put you on the map. So my brother started that over in Canada. So Where did you get the stand from for Slimer? That comes from Parkwork Upgrades, Greg. I'm using the stand for Parkwork Upgrades, the one that goes around the tyre. That is the Parkwork Upgrade stand. That's all it's on. It's just sitting on the case for the Iron Man arc reactor, which is from Wish, I believe. But Matthew Bean over at Beanie's Hobbies made that. So, all good. How many Enterprise D issues I've had? I've only got up to issue 3 at the moment, Jacob. I'm sure that's Jacob, isn't it? I'm saying Jacob. I'm sure it's Jacob. I could be wrong. If I'm butchering your name, I apologise. If model designs do come back, you're definitely buying the paint racks. Yeah, because I really want another paint rack as well. I love my Vallejo paints, but I didn't realise there's over 400 in the set. And being a completionist, I'm like, oh God, I've got to get it. I've got to get it done. Hi, Gunny. How's it going, Bruce? You all right? So Wyndham is pronounced Wyndham Go Figure. What? Wyndham Go Figure. Wyndham. I thought Go Figure was in the title as well. Wyndham. So Wimbledon is Wyndham. Yeah, well, like Hunt Stanton being Huntston. I mean, I've never heard of that. I thought I was being wound up, but no, definitely. See, John, you got pack 2 of the Eleanor as well. See, all I knew is because the Eleanor I'm getting from Eagle Moss, just like the Ecto one, they forgot to send them out to the influencer accounts. So that's why I haven't received mine. But I'm hoping I'll get them soon. We'll have to see. Wayne, I love your new workstation. It's not new. I've had it over a year. I love your new workstation because you can access everything instead of looking for everything. That's right. And with, as you saw with the Bismarck today, I could store things in it as well. It's a tragedy that Wayne has trouble with some words. It's a definite tragedy. Wayne, I have to say another thank you for measuring the DeLorean tracks. I have them installed and waiting on the final railroad tie to complete it. Lord only knows when that will come. Oh, bless. I've heard there's an absolute nightmare trying to get stuff over there, Craig. I wish I knew more, but I don't know anything, to be honest with you. All I know is the logistics and the ports. That's the only thing that I've heard is holding things up at the moment. Put fibre fill in there to diffuse the hotspots. Yeah, I'll come to that bridge when we come to it. I don't know how they're lighting it, but obviously these are going to be powered on their own. So I don't know where the switch is going to be. You never know. Perhaps those switches at the back of the Cobra section that we push in turn the nacelles on. Who knows? But once I find that out, then we get to it. But I'm glad I painted it. I know it's going to work. So I don't mind now doing it on this one. So... because I'm going to, obviously there's 2 nacelles, but we'll see how that goes. Dylan Kilgore, you spy the Carnival ride ship behind you. I love to build that one. Well, once it's built, it is available through Jeff Fink, and he did send me an email with the links for that. Once I do a video for it, I'll put the links up for where that can get from. But, I mean, his STL files are immaculate, and I'm telling you what, the instructions I've seen are better than any instructions I've seen on any of the builds I've seen. They are so detailed. Really, really well done. I've got enough I can't stop praising it. Any news on the build the alien? Nothing at all at the moment, I'm afraid, Mark, but definitely not in this country. Hi Ian, are you still working on a better stand for the T800? Gunny, Bruce, this one here has got the new stand. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you. Hang on, stand by. Oops, just had a bit fall off. Oh God, it's heavy. Ugh. Right, just going to put this bit in before I lose it. Goes in like, I can't remember, like this. How did that bit fall out? I don't know. There we go. Right, so that stand is held up by the cage here, but obviously when that's covered we can't do that. So this stand actually works on the screw holes that we've got in the back of the Terminator, which is where we're going to be mounting it anyway. But the mount you're going to get with the Terminator is like a U-shaped mount, so it's actually 2 poles going into the base. Obviously with Ian's stand it's just the one, but as you can see holds it really well. So there you go. I believe that's on the Partworks upgrade site. If you're unsure about the stands and stuff like that, I think I've got your link there. There you go, partworkupgrades.com. So you'll be able to get that all over there. Is it on the site, Ian? I can't remember if it's actually on there yet or not. What are we talking about lightsabers for? What's the favourite model you built? Chris, there's loads, to be honest with you. I love building the Millennium Falcon, but they're doing that ET spaceship, learning so much. And I'm telling you what, by the sounds of it and what Phil said, because obviously Phil knows what's in here, the once we find out, you know,
What's in the box?
I'm going to be learning some techniques on this as well. But I haven't got a clue what it is. Hello, Peter Werner. How's it going? Roger, hi. Wait a Mrs. Rodwayne. You had your second Oxford vaccination. Finally, peace of mind now. I still haven't got any vaccination. Esther's had hers. But yeah, I'm still waiting. Stage 53 is out of stock at the moment. That's crazy. I don't think they stockpile stock. I think they put orders in and then it gets shipped from China. So it's like a, we need, I don't know, 20 copies of issue 53. Can you make them for us? And that's probably what the delay is. I think if that is the case, Eagle Moss, tell people that. Don't just get them thinking or give them stringing along, because the more truthful you are, the more people are going to be happy with you. Absolutely nothing. You're stupid. I know what that is, Howard. That's UHF with Weird Al Yankovic. Yankovic. Am I right? Weird Al. What's in the box? Red snapper. Very tasty. Am I right? Or am I right? See, I know my movies. Your 360 wife's due for our second. Oh, bless. In less than 2 weeks. Oh, congratulations, Greg. God, we're full of good news tonight. Bless. Oh yeah, you did, Glyn. But wear it. You wear it and take a picture, because we want pictures. We need pictures on this channel, big time. You're colourblind too, Stephen. It's the bane of my life at the moment, especially with some of these builds. Yep, I think we just mentioned that, Stephen. I think I'm behind on chat. I don't think I'm too bad tonight, though. I'm only about 6 minutes behind, so we're doing quite good. Have you built? No, Stewie, it's still behind here. The display case for the Peugeot, they've delivered it, but it's obviously flat pack. So we've got the big base, and then I've got to build the Perspex panels on the side. I haven't done it yet. I do believe that IXO Collections have been advertising on Twitter and Instagram to show them building the base to see how that comes up. So I didn't know there was two different kinds of Slimer, to be honest with you. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the sound on my system for a second, and I'm going to be putting my headphones on. So stand by. I'm going to go quiet and mute for a couple of seconds. Test. Okay. I'm hoping you can hear me. The green light's bouncing up and down. It looks like everything is set up absolutely fine. The speakers are these, I believe. I hope they are. Just checking down the list. Right. Okay, so I should be able to hear. So I'm going to generate a link. Phil, if you're watching. Oh, Jeffrey, you are on here. I'm absolutely loving this build, Jeffrey. I'm telling you. As I said, I have made a change with the top of the bin, so I can actually put a handle. I don't know if the handle was meant to be solid or not, but the one I've printed is actually sort of round. But that's it. It's going absolutely brilliant. So you just had all your tooth pulled today. Oh my God, Chris in chat's not going to like hearing that, or he is going to like hearing that. You're retired. I don't think you want to be hearing that, do you, Chris? Right, let's generate this. Stand by. This isn't easy. Oh, look, Charlotte's come on. Hello, Charlotte. How's it going? Oh, you can hear me. Right, that's good news. Right, so I'm going to generate the link. Bang. Right, Phil, I'm sending this to your, I think it's your Sprueverse email address. I think that's the one. Yeah, right. Hopefully that's the one. So I've sent that now. So hopefully you'll pop up on the screen in a second and we'll see. And then once you pop up on the screen, we'll be able to find out what's in the box. Unfortunately, because I've changed the sound over, when I play this now, you're not going to hear the sound of it. That's why I have to have a virtual camera on when I'm playing video clips. And when I'm talking to people, then obviously I'll have just this here. Hello, Lou. How's it going? The garbage can doesn't have a handle on top. That's where the shuttle goes. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Well, I've taken it off anyway, so I probably won't be putting that on. There you go, Lou. Perhaps that was fate. That was fate deciding that needed to come off. I didn't even think about that, to be honest with you. To watch the fun, I do need to. It seems like there we go. Right, Phil's just come on, so this is going to be interesting. Right, so we're going to hopefully find out what's in the box. So let's bring you in, Phil. Hello.
Hi.
Look at that. Look, and it fits. It fits in the display here. So you've got Sprueverse on your side. Let's just hide Lou's comment. And look, you've got your links down the bottom. Oh, wow. I'm so impressed at how that works. Now, can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, how you been?
Been good.
I spoke to Phil just before the stream. So we've had a catch up, but excited to see what's in the box because we haven't got a clue. And I've been teasing everyone tonight. So am I good to open this?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do this. I'm going to switch my camera, so bear with me. This is going to be fun. Okay, here we go. So Homeland Security has already been, or our Home Office Security has already been in this, so you never know. They might have left me a present in here. Or they might have left me nothing. They might have taken it and confiscated it. Let's have a look. Oh, it's packed well. We've got some bubble wrap. And then we got a box. They've been in the box. I know what this is. I know what this is. Right, okay. Okay, peeps. What we're going to be building, if anyone didn't see that now, this is going to be crazy, Phil. We're going to be building the shark cage and the shark, great white shark. Wow. I'm just going to make sure it's not... I've got to have a look at the pieces. I'm like a kid at Christmas. Right, let's have a look. Pegasus Models are doing this, just so you know. And wow. Oh my God.
Yeah. There's actually two models. There's the shark itself, and the box on it, I think, is brilliant. There's two versions of the jaws. You can have them open or closed. Obviously, we want them open because what we want to do is we want to build that iconic moment in Jaws when Hooper goes down in the cage and he is attacked by the shark. The shark gets its mouth into the cage and he has to escape, and he hides at the bottom of the ocean. And but obviously Chief Brody thinks he's dead, but he isn't. And he makes his big reveal at the end of the movie, which is completely different from the book. Peter Benchley's book, actually, Quint survives and Hooper dies. So it's interesting. So now with this kit, Pegasus, I think, had some issues with licensing, so they shifted gears, and they've added obviously they've added the character to the cage, but they added a camera, and the cage is slightly larger than screen accurate. So the challenge here is to get that cage screen accurate, remove the camera, and have perhaps even the shark dart that he loses, he drops, maybe one of those. And then the big challenge, I am saying, we've got to put the whole thing in a resin block. And perhaps even looking up at, so we can see the orca perhaps above it. So
they're saying we're going to need a bigger shelf. Well, this looks amazing. I think you're right about the shark cage. I've already got ideas for that. I mean, I don't think that's going to be too hard. Fabricating the injection gun or the harpoon. That's the idea. The resin, as I said to you earlier, I've never worked with resin, but funny enough, I was mentioning we just had a conversation with Charlotte, who's on stream here, and her fiance, I'm going to keep calling him fiance, her fiance sister actually works with resin. So I'm like, oh, she can give me a masterclass then. She's actually got a business where she makes resin trinkets and stuff like that. But since talking to you, from what I understand, if anyone in chat has worked with resin before, you can't just pour a massive block of resin in, fill it up and have it done, because it won't cure properly, because in the middle it will just take forever to cure, and it will just warp, I think, eventually. So you have to do it in increments, and I think that they recommend doing 1 centimeter increments. Now when this is built, it's going to be a lot bigger than that. It's going to be like a shoebox sort of thing.
Oh, it's quite an impressive size.
Did they say the size on here? Just out of curiosity. I don't
in terms of scale, no, but I would imagine, because the way it's set up right now, you're supposed to put the cage and the shark on separate stands.
Right.
But I think the way we're going to try and orient this model to tell the story, it could end up being 14, 15 inches high.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Well, what they suggest is to actually layer the resin. So you pour in a layer, and then once that's cooled, you pour the next layer. I thought that would be a good way to actually have the water going darker as you go down, or the vice versa.
That's brilliant.
So you can put bigger dyes in and then just dilute it more as you come up. So you will see the layers in the water, but it can't be too dark, otherwise you wouldn't see the model inside. But I've already been thinking about it. This is the things that's going to give me the sleepless nights, Phil, I'm telling you.
And perhaps even some kelp, under just to add something to it. But and then in terms of lights, I don't know how we put light in it, but some kind of an ambient light of some kind, maybe sunlight, suggesting sunlight or something. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, I mean, it could be a frame, and then you'd have the light from the back and the light from the top. So you would have the sunlight from the top, and with those layers I'm talking about, it would naturally be darker down the bottom.
That'd be cool.
What I don't know with the layers is when they join, do you have a visible line? I don't know. I'm just.
I hope not, because I've seen people pour pretty sizable chunks of block, but yeah, I think it has to be poured in layers. But that would be a bummer if we just get lines all the way up. And this is the thing that scares me. But it was the same with Chrome the Dome. I didn't know what I was doing. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun to kind of push the envelope and see if we can actually do this. Because I think if we can get this right, we're going to end up with a really awesome piece of film history.
Yeah,
no one else has.
Well, I mean, I mentioned this, a few streams ago. I mean, I love the film Jaws. And when you said 1970s, I kept thinking, I know you're a big Irwin Allen fan, so I'm thinking like Poseidon Adventure, Towering Inferno and stuff like that. Then you mentioned Jaws, and I'm like, oh, wow, is that the orca? And you were talking about a shark cage. And I think in the same conversation, you were talking about resin. And then when you mentioned resin earlier, I'm like, I wonder if it's the Jaws.
Well, this is a great kit. And I mean, the challenge is going to be painting that shark. And I've already been online. There's some really cool sort of pictures for us to look at in terms of the actual filming model, but also the kit painted up as well. So, I mean, it's got this very light gray underbelly and those teeth, the blood coming out of the actual jaws itself. So, I mean, there's a lot of fun to be had with the painting of this shark.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, did you ever have any conversations with Roy Schneider about Jaws on the set of?
Many. Oh yeah, many. I
thought it'd be like, sick of talking about it after, because like, that.
Well, he was an interesting character. He was very, very to be nice, tough to deal with. He was very set in his ways, and one of the things that he does not like is a lot of dialogue. He doesn't like to learn a lot of dialogue, and he doesn't like to wait around. And one of the great stories he told me about Jaws was when Stephen wanted to do all the close-ups of him, everything went wrong. And he would just lose his patience. And there was a time, even when there's a moment where Brody, Roy's character, is supposed to get a gun. He gets his gun out of his holster and he's going to fire it at the shark. It's quite an iconic moment in the movie, and the gun doesn't work. And it doesn't work. Take 1, take 2, take 3, take 4, take 5. Apparently, it took several hours to get this gun to work. It really upset him, and he went to his trailer and he didn't come out for a while. But you know, he was quite a character, and even on Sequest, you know, he still had that iconic kind of swagger to him, and that sense of confidence. He was a great actor. I mean, but most of the great actors are crazy.
Oh bless. Well, this is going to be exciting, I have to say. I think the actual putting it together is not going to be the challenge, but the painting, as you said, and probably fabricating, because you're right, that shark cage, I'm just looking at it now, looks very square, but it needs to be very rectangular, doesn't it? So
yeah, it's too big, so it needs to be shrunk. So we're going to have to figure out how to convert it, and then the bars in front have to be buckled if we're going to have the actual jaws. I think the mouth of the shark should already be in the cage. Yeah, I mean, that's the moment. So you're going to have to do some fabricating there, and then of course, putting the shark together, there's a lot of seam work that has to be done to blend it. Yeah,
I think we're going to be changing some of these struts for the cage into wires, I think, to bend them around. So wow, I can't wait to start that. I'll be doing this with Phil. We're going to be doing it as a like a serial, like we did for ET, really, and then updating on social media, I guess. Now I've put Phil's link down the bottom there. My link for the YouTube channel's down there as well. Phil's also got Sprueverse.com, the website channel, but you can also find him. As a matter of fact, I think I've already prepared captions here. Let me have a look. I've got your YouTube address there.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, and I've also got, hang on, that's your YouTube address. And then, if this works, oh, technology. Technology is actually working today for me, which is like, it never happens. And then if I go, so on Instagram, because you post there quite often, that's there, bang, save, and then I should go like that. There we go. And that's Phil's site on Instagram. As a matter of fact, if you just type Sprueverse in anything, I think even on Google now brings up all your social media. So
now the other thing you're going to need some wardrobe. I got mine already.
That's excellent.
And this says, well, I'm going to say, it says we're going to need a bigger butt. So I've got wardrobe.
I'll tell you what, I think I'm gonna take a cue from what they've said in chat there and make one that says we're gonna need a bigger shelf. I think that'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh bless, look, you're getting all the Jaws facts now. Peter Benchley, who wrote the book, played the news reporter.
That's right, yes he did.
I'm one of these people that when you watch DVDs and stuff like that, sometimes I've watched the director's commentaries and stuff, but I went for a phase of like not liking that anymore, and I don't think I ever went back to it. I think it spoils some of the magic of the film sometimes. So.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody knows all the stories about Bruce the Shark, not working, and obviously it was called Bruce because Stephen's lawyer's name was Bruce Raymer, so that's why the shark was called Bruce. And later on in my career, I worked for Stephen for almost 6 years, and at Amblin, which is on the lot at Universal, as you come into the main gate, there was a wishing well, and if you look down the wishing well, looking back up at you is Jaws. So he had a lot of fun with that. The only thing that really ticked him off was parts of the orca he wanted for his own private collection, and they were lost or damaged, and that really angered him. The typical studios, when a movie is done, they break everything up and sell it. They're not really interested in storing anything, and so a lot of those things are lost. But it's a great movie, and if anybody can ever find it, there was a cut of the picture. It's hard to find now, and it has a lot more gore in it. A lot more of the scenes, Chrissy at the beginning, when you look at, when Hooper actually goes to the to do the post-op, the post-mortem on her, there's a lot more gore there, and also two of the other moments. The little boy on the beach. Remember when he asks his mother if he can go into the water one more time, and he goes out on the raft. That scene has been completely destroyed, but there was several more moments to that scene that made it incredibly more graphic. And then when Brody's kid is in the bay playing on the boat, if you remember, and the guy gets capsized by the shark. That scene was really cut down. They were really worried about the gore and the graphic nature of it, but there is a cut with all of those moments still in it.
I've seen the cut.
Have you?
The cut was available on Laserdisc.
Oh,
so,
it's not available now, though, is it?
No, it's not available now. I don't even think they make Laserdiscs anymore. But my friend in Essex, his name's Chris. He's a big Jaws fan. As a matter of fact, he's the person that actually got me onto all the memorabilia and stuff of this. But he had the Laserdisc for it, and he was an avid fan. He didn't like movies being cut, especially when they get cut for no reason at all. I can understand if you're doing it for TV and stuff, but I've mentioned it before. Obviously, the scene in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, you can see him reaching into the guy's heart and pulling it out, but it's always cut. You just see him holding it up in the air. And things like the Karate Kid too. I don't know why they cut things, but there's a scene where Chozan digs up Mr. Miyagi's garden. He comes on and starts replanting everything, and they have an argument. But that whole scene was cut. But the stills of it are still in the storybook, which is really weird. And you're like, I don't understand why, because I had seen that scene in the theatres. Why they needed to cut it for home rental, unless back then it was fitting on a VHS tape. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. They just thought that it was too intense for the audience. I mean, and let's be honest. I mean, who wanted to go in the water after watching that movie? I mean, I certainly did.
No, definitely
not. But I think if you go on YouTube and you kind of want to goof off and have some fun, I think you can find a lot of the outtakes of the movie. And so they are there, and you can kind of just see how it was. But it's a shame that they destroyed it like that.
You've got a couple of people here who are enjoying your U-boat build. I think you've just got a video just gone up, haven't you, for that?
It's finished. It's finished. Yeah, it's an 8-part series, and I just posted another Doctor Who chat today. And then, of course, my Spitfire's back on the bench. Thank you, D'Agostini. 4 months later, here they are. But great! I appreciate that.
No, that's cool. Mrs. Rhoda Wayne's got a point, something that I couldn't figure out, that Jaws was only ever a PG in this country. And thinking about all the graphic gore in it, that was a bit of a push as well.
Well, that's very interesting you say that, because not so much anymore, but if in those days, and even up into the 80s and first part of the 90s, but mostly the 80s, if a studio could not get a PG-13 rating, they would recut the film, because obviously that was the meat of being able to get families to come to the box office. If they now the UK had a rating below 17, I think, and we've got years of working in blockbusters. I know this. You had unclassified, which was your documentaries, films, and stuff like that. You had your U, then your PG, then they introduced 12. And 12A, that's fairly recent for us. Then we got 15 and then 18. Back in the old days, you used to have your X and your triple X and stuff like that as well. But yeah, and so I think they wanted that 13 rating, obviously, to get the families into the theater. If they couldn't get it, they'd recut the picture, and so it was how many cuss words got removed, and how much blood and gore was accepted. And I think there was a negotiation with the ratings services here, and the UK has one where they'll allow a certain amount of it, and then you're done.
Did you hear about this one? Mrs. Rhoda Wayne's full of facts today. We do these. I don't know if you do them now, because we don't have drive-ins anymore. We get these pop-up outdoor cinemas. They did we had Secret Cinema over here, where they make a big song and dance about a film, and you get into costume. And I went to an Empire Strikes Back one, and they tell you what your role is, and you dress up, and it's completely interactive, and no one breaks character. Well, they did one for Jaws, and they put everyone watching the movie in rubber rings in water.
That's great.
I can't believe you remembered that. I don't know if I want to do that, but yeah, that should be quite a fun one. But
no, it was an iconic movie, and obviously it propelled Spielberg's career. I mean, he thought he was going to get fired several times off that picture, and and in those days it was a huge risk to put him in as the director. But I suspect the truth. Now, this is purely my supposition. I don't know this to be a fact, so you're hearing me say something that may not be true. However, a man by the name of Sid Sheinberg was the chairman of Universal Studios. And Sid was Steven's mentor. He was responsible for bringing Steven over to the studio, and he was responsible for giving him his first break. You know, it was a Joan Crawford directed night gallery that Steven did, one of the first things he did. So Steven was really mentored by this guy, Sid Sheinberg. And it is no coincidence that Sid Sheinberg's wife is Elaine Gary, who plays, obviously, the wife of Chief Brody in Jaws. And I think that giving Steven that picture was a way of controlling the fact that a bigger director would not approve Elaine Gary being, you know, because she wasn't an actress of any stature or really should have been in the picture. And I suspect packaging Steven allowed Elaine to be in the picture.
Oh no, definitely. D Harris wants to look at your shirt that you're wearing at the moment, the ET Mothership, the Haynes Daniel.
Yes.
You got a line in t-shirts. I'm telling you, they're all cool. At least, yeah. I do need to get one. I've got me Let's Get Cracking, but yeah, every time I do a new build, Mrs. Weldon Wayne normally tries to source me a t-shirt for it, or I end up making my own. But yeah, I'm definitely going to have to sort something out for that one. But this is going to be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun, especially playing with the resin. But we're gonna be with it through all the trials and tribulations. I'm sure. The problem we've got, I don't know if people realise that if we get to the stage where it's completed, and then we cock the resin up, we've ruined the whole model. It's a one-hit wonder thing, isn't it?
That's right.
Like, wow.
Oh yeah, no. But I mean, this pushes the envelope on hobby making, and you know, if we can get this right, I mean, it's great for other enthusiasts or anyone out there who wants to put, you know, I wanted to put my submarine in the ocean and have it roaring along, you know, because there are so many guys who do that with caulking and resin and other things that I'm just petrified to do it because
Phil,
I don't
it's the biggest question I get on the Bismarck is how can we make it float? And I'm like, really, if you see it, it's never going to float. But you know, you're welcome to try it.
Yeah, I mean, if you dropped it into a piece of wood, I mean, I imagine that thing is massive and heavy. Yeah. But if you were to drop it into a piece of wood and then, you know, build the ocean around it, you probably could. But who's got the room for that?
I don't know, but I did mention earlier that when we were talking about the resin, I mentioned about Luke Towan. Well, Luke has now showed you on his site. You've got to check his site out. I'll have to. He's actually on my YouTube channel under the featured channels. He's on there. He shows you how to do the waves on top of the water as well.
Awesome.
So that might be another thing as well, which is going to be quite good.
Well, that'd be exciting because I mean, here's another mediocre modeler who's going to, you know, trying to up my game.
No, definitely. I can't wait to start it. I'm itching to start it now.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, Phil, look, thanks for joining tonight. I really appreciate that. I will be in touch with you, and we'll get to the bare bones of what we're actually going to be doing with this. I don't know what I'm going to start with. I'm just tempted to start with the shark straight away because I don't know why. It's just coming out of me to do so. We'll have to see. But
enjoy. Hi to Mrs. Weldon Wayne and to everybody. Everybody, stay well. Be well.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us, Phil. See you later.
Okay, bud. Cheers.
That was excellent. I can't believe what we've got here. This is absolutely brilliant. Let me just show you the box again. Whoops, I'm dropping the box. Looking just like that. Now, obviously, for licensing reasons, a little bit like you can't call Doctor Who figurines that you've made yourself Doctor Who. You can call them like the 7th Doctor or the 6th Doctor or something like that. So we've got the kit, the Great White Shark by Pegasus Models. And I said, on first glance of it, the pieces are quite big. And looking at the instructions, I don't think putting the pieces together is the thing. Putting the pieces together here is not the thing. It's going to be quite easy, that is. Fabricating the things to make it more screen accurate, which is something a lot of people have been crying out at me for a lot of these models, is where the challenge is going to be. So I'm going to be using materials, I guess, because I do love Phil's idea of having the shark cage broken open rather than just the straight bars, and perhaps the diver, rather than holding a camera that he's got there, perhaps more back, holding the rod. I don't know. It's firing on all cylinders at the moment. But I hope you enjoyed that tonight. I think that was brilliant having Phil on and opening the box, which I can't show you the thing anymore because, as I said, look, it's got no sound. but I'm sure in your head you can hear what's in the box. Gary Whitfield, Wayne, can we get a look at the cage, please? Yeah, no problems. This is the cage. If I these parts are still sealed, so I think when customs, because customs have obviously opened this, this is what it looks like. Now, as you can see, it's very square, and obviously the shark cage is more rectangular. Now, looking at the instruction picture here, if you look at the front there, actually, you can see they've got it in a square cage. So, I mean, I'd like to use the parts that we've got here. I'd rather use as many parts as I can from the kit rather than have to fabricate parts out. I think that's the whole point of how you can get a kit and make it look more lifelike with what you've got, rather than just completely replacing something. So that's what I'm going to do. So, all good. Would love to build the Orca. I've already said that, Steve. I'd love to build the Orca. So, talking about the Orca, does anyone remember Orca the Killer Whale? I think that had... what's his name? The guy who played Quint. I'm sure that had in it. Robert Shaw, Orca, Killer Whale. Yeah, it did. Wait, no, Orca was the name of Quint. No. Orca. It was actually called Orca, 1977. Did I imagine it? Yeah, Orca the Killer Whale. Who was in it? Richard Harris. That was it. It was Richard Harris, not that. Yeah, Richard Harris was in it. I love that movie. Haven't seen that for ages. You love the fact that Deadpool was R-rated. There needs to be more R-rated. I never understood ratings on films though. I don't need these on anymore. I never understood ratings on films because it said Jaws getting a PG rating with what's everything that's in there. I couldn't believe Arachnophobia had a PG rating as well. That was crazy. That scared the bejeebers out of me. But yeah, I probably will be 3D printing or making them out of wire crisp. But I think I want to use as many pieces of this as I possibly can. So the stream did go fast tonight, didn't it? Richard Harris and Bo Derek, brilliant film. I don't know why I thought it was Quint. He looks like him, I think. But yeah, absolutely brilliant film. You remember Orca well. It's not just me then. Might be possible to get a couple of bars. I think once it's built, I think I'll dry build it first, see how it looks and see what needs changing on it. But I'm sure, just seeing Phil's face when I mentioned that I was going to build the shark first, I'm sure that's going to be the first thing to do. Get the shark right and the rest will fall into place, I reckon. And like, I have seen some of the pictures on here. If you can bear with me for a second. Stand by. This is what this. I'm just gonna share a window with you. I think that's probably the best thing. So stand by a second. Like this. Here we go. This is what the shark looks like here. Look. Now, as you can see, the cage is very square on there, so I don't think it'd be too hard to narrow that down. But I do want this shark to be inside the cage, with all of these bars bent open. I don't know if there's any other pictures here. Let's have a look down the list here. Look, someone's actually got it in the cage there. Look at that. So there's plenty of pictures to inspire here, I think. But it's certainly going to be fun. But what a kit, huh? Looks absolutely... Look, that one looks different. The mouth is shut on that one. The mouth's open. So we do have different mouths. It's got to be open, hasn't it? And full of blood. Full of blood and gore. Ah, that's going to be a great build. I love it. You see, look, all the ideas are coming in. So yeah, you're right, they're plastic. I could bend the wires with hot air dry. I cut some as well because some of them would be broken. That's a brilliant idea, Julie. Thank you. This is why I come to the community on this channel. Everyone comes together and gives these ideas. It's going to be brilliant. I think the biggest challenge is going to be the resin thing because if you can imagine the cage, as you saw there, I mean, the shark's quite big as it is. It's quite heavy, this is as well. Actually, it's really heavy. But the shark's big as well. We're gonna try and put it in resin. And it's going to be a big resin block. And I don't know the first thing about working with resin. But I do know that you can't just pour that much resin in a box. So I need to look up on some channels about that and see how that works. So, John, I haven't got a clue. I do not have a clue. It's from Pegasus Models. I'll just do a quick Google search. Yes, you can get it from hobbies.co.uk for $39.99. Again, if I just link over to that video there, as you can see, $39.99. So if you want to build yourself this, Hobbies is actually an independent chain, and both me and Phil are all for you know, helping out the independents and bringing them up, because it's all very well with your big Amazons and stuff, but the cream and the crop of this business and this community is the little guy and the stores, and how we can help them out. So but once I get the videos up and running and decide how we're going to do this, I will be advertising all the stuff that I use and where we can actually get some of this stuff from. So David, I've got quite a few. I do have a Jaws book actually. It's like a photo book, but I'm going to need to dig it out. So be careful too much. That's the other worry, Dr. Inferno. All I know is that before if I put a centimeter in, it will be fine, but I've got to let that cool completely before I put the next layer in, and then we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Thin layers, D. See, look, load of you have worked with that, so that's good. But obviously I'm not going to do that straight away. I'm going to buy a plastic model and try and resin it in the sort of case that it's going to be before I do it on, because God, how heartbroken am I going to be if we've completed it, it looks brilliant, and I destroy it with a resin. That would just gut me, absolutely gut me. So, but there you go. But on a brighter note, as I said to Phil earlier on in chat, look, the light from ET has suddenly started working. So all the lights are working now. So you see, when things go wrong, look to the sun, look to the light, because everything's going to get better soon. Listen, I really do hope you like that stream tonight. I really had a great time tonight, and once again, thank you, Phil, from over Sprueverse, for coming on the stream and for sending me this. And I'm going to think about all these ideas coming on my mind. Tomorrow we're going to be having the Cobra Pack 7. That's going to be out in the evening, so there won't be any videos out in the morning. That video will last all weekend, and then back to the normal live streams next week. Anyway, listen, take care everybody.